Start recording. Oh, goodness. What is it? Okay, great. Okay, awesome. So we can go ahead and get started in about a minute.
Okay.
Yes. Just making sure that everything is working here on our end. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining the Jersey City Free Public Library College Readiness Team. With us today, we have Lisa Siekowitz from the Hudson County Community College Nursing Program, and she will be providing an information session about the 2021 program. So let's welcome Lisa. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Ashley. Nice to see everyone. Or if you're listening, I'm glad to provide some information for you. I want to welcome you to the Hudson County Community College Nursing Program Information Session. This is for registered nurse. My name is Lisa Siekowitz McCall, and I am the coordinator of admissions and recruitment for Hudson Community College, the nursing program. Currently, we are accepting applications for fall 2021. So if you're interested in this program, now would be the time to apply. And we want to welcome you all here today. Thank you. Next. Thank you so much. So this is an RN program, and nursing is a lot of different things to a lot of different people. The HCC nursing program is a registered nurse degree, so you will be able to work in hospitals, community agencies, giving out COVID vaccinations, all different kinds of work, nursing home with computers, all different types of work once you receive your degree from the RN nursing program. And hopefully, if this is your interest, you're ready to get some information on nursing. Next one. Thank you so much. The first thing that all students will need to do at this point is to apply to Hudson County Community College. The easiest and fastest way to do that would be to go on the link there, the hccc.edu nursing. And that would be the application to nursing. Students also have to make an application to HCCC, and that's the hccc.edu apply, and that is a $25 fee. So when you're applying to our nursing program, you do have to make two separate applications. One would be nursing, which is the first link, and that is no fee to apply. And the next is the HCC application, and it's hccc.edu apply, and that's a $25 fee. Make sure that you complete both of those. And also, as soon as you have any interest, you may complete those both applications. If you prefer the paper application, we can mail it to you, and then you can mail it back to our address. But the fastest and quickest way would be the two websites indicated there. Next.
Hang on. I guess not. Sorry.
That's okay. We just included a few pictures. This was most recently. When you come to our program, you will be practicing on mannequins before we allow you to go on with our patients, and you'll be practicing all of your skills and how to work with patients. And this was most recently because you see our students with these beautiful masks. They were practicing with our patients. This is our students in uniform, and they're practicing to work with some skills on their nursing students, and I believe they're second-year students. That's just a quick snapshot, and we have a beautiful skills lab in our residence where you'll be able to practice all of this skills and things necessary to go on to your class. That's correct. Next will be fine. Just some requirements that every student needs to have in order to become part of our program. You must have a high school diploma or GED, and you also have to pass what's called a pre-admissions exam. We require students to take one of 3 listed. Students may either take what's called the NLN PACS RN, the SAT, or the ATITs. Each of the required scores are listed there. So if you decide which one you'd like to take, the acceptable minimum is listed there. Students also have to have a third requirement, which is high school or college chemistry. If you've taken it in high school, it would be acceptable. If not, you will take it in college, but it would have to be within the last 5 years. Applicants also have to have a GPA of at least 2.5 if they have some college, or if they're just in high school and they have a high school GPA, we would look at that as well, 2.5. We also require 2 professional references, a criminal background check, a drug test, and health insurance. Number 5, 6, 7, and 8 would be required only upon acceptance, but we're letting you know that would be a requirement for all students accepted to our program at HCC. Next. Okay, and just as a reminder, when you're sending us your transcripts, you will need those official transcripts sent to our program. And if you need to have the credit for the chemistry, it would need to be completed within the last 5 years and stated that you completed it with grade of C or above. And the 2 professional references that we require may be from a teacher, a clergy, employer, counselor. We prefer that it's not friends, relatives, or anyone like that, but they can provide a very good professional reference for you. Thank you. Next one.
Yep. Oh, goodness, what happened there? Yes, okay.
Thank you. Students who apply to HCC may also be required to take what's called a college placement test. All students entering who have never had college before are required to take what's called a placement test. And this would test your English and math so that Hudson can see where you place if you need any basic skills, or if you're college ready to enter that English or math. If you've had college before, you may be waived from this, but otherwise this testing center will get in contact with you, or you may contact them, and you may set up for testing, but it is required for students out of high school. And if you never had college before, that is a requirement. And that's all processed through the HCC testing center, and the website and the number is listed there. Again, that's for placement into high school or college level reading and math. Next slide. As we mentioned before, students are required to take an entrance exam if you're interested in the nursing program. It is not open admissions, although HCC is open admissions. The nursing program is not. And we require either of these tests to be taken, the NLN, the SAT, or the ATITs. The websites are listed there. If you're interested in taking any of these exams, you can go onto the website and see what testing is available. The sooner the better would be great. If you want to take the NLN exam, the only thing students may want to be aware of is that if you do take this exam and you don't reach the acceptable score, you would have to wait 3 months to reapply and take that exam. And the SAT and the ATITs, you're welcome to take those exams as many times as you'd like. RN pre-entrance exam, again, you must pass one, and you may choose to take any or all of those exams in preparation to enter into nursing. Next slide. Next one.
Oh, why is it going backwards? That's unusual. Sorry about that.
That's okay. This is good. I also included another picture of our students preparing for their clinical preparation. Again, they're in the skills lab, and you can see that we have practice beds and mannequins in the background there, and they're just preparing to do their practice and their clinical preparation. Next. Thank you. Once students make their application, their documents, high school and college transcripts are sent, and you do receive an acceptable score on one of those exams, we may require personal interview. That's not always the case, but if we do require personal interview, we'll let you know. Otherwise, we have what's called an admissions committee at our school, and they will review your file to determine if it is an acceptable file, acceptable score, and that type of information. So once you receive that acceptable score, your file as a student would go to a committee to be reviewed for acceptance. Next slide. Thank you. The Nursing Admissions Committee reviews applicants only upon all materials being submitted, and we do a monthly review. So students don't have to wait too long to know if they are accepted. We meet once a month and every month. Unfortunately, we don't have a set deadline for HCC nursing program. We accept on what's called rolling admissions. So we will continue to accept until our class reaches its max capacity. At this point, our class for the next admission, fall 2021, is almost filled, but continue to apply because there are some spaces available. You can continue to apply, but do so as soon as you can, and then set yourself up for the testing. The Nursing Admissions Committee review meets as a group, and they will make the decision of acceptance for all applicants. Next one. This is an FYI, but if you do become accepted and everything goes well, you would have to submit some documents that we're just alerting students to. You would have to submit birth certificate or verification of your citizenship. All our nursing students are required to have a complete medical record and a complete physical. You will need to submit to criminal background check, a drug test, and have health insurance or be covered by someone that supplies health insurance in order to begin nursing and interact with patients. So that's only upon acceptance. We don't need any of those documents until you officially become accepted. Next slide. We included a picture here again of our skills lab. We cannot take pictures of actual nursing care that is against the regulations. So you'll see a lot of the practicing of students. This is 2 students, and they were in the OB pediatric experience. So they're taking care of mom and baby there, and they're practicing their skills in our lab. Next slide. Just as an FYI, if students are admitted into HCC and you do become admitted to our nursing program, HCC does offer financial aid, and the nursing courses are covered through the financial aid if you're eligible. If you have any questions about financial aid, we left the phone numbers and the website there, they can give you some information, but for your knowledge, the financial aid does cover the nursing portion if you do qualify for that. Next one. If you do become a student at HCC and you're interested in nursing, if you've had any college experience before, or if you had any credits before, you may want to look into if you can get credit for that. You work so hard on those credits, maybe you'd like to see if you can get any credits. So we only request that the transcripts be sent to the nursing program and to HCC. And then once they are submitted, a credit evaluator would go through and see if any credits would transfer. It's worth it to see if you've paid for NJCU, St. Peter's, any other credits at another college, and you're coming to HCC, you may want to see if any credits would transfer. Next slide. Thank you. Just for your knowledge, if you are applying to HCC nursing particular, and you're coming with some credits for your previous work, HCC will only accept 30 credits as long as you have an official transcript and the credit is C or above. The only point in nursing is that the science courses have to be taken less than 5 years. So if you've taken anatomy and physiology 1, anatomy, physiology 2, and microbiology, which are all biology science courses, they have to be taken within the last 5 years. Otherwise, you would have to retake those. So if you're interested in getting any transfer credit, just make sure to have that transcript sent over, and HCC will do a credit eval and let you know what credits will transfer. Next slide. Just some information for our knowledge. We get about 400 to 500 applications a year. Approximately, the acceptance rate is 4 to 1. The overall admission and estimated cost is listed there, but that's for college and nursing credits together. So the whole program would cost you that approximate tuition. And we do have 3 programs here at HCC in the nursing. We have a day division, an evening division, and a weekend division. We accept students into each of those every year. The day division hours are generally 7 to 2 p.m. or 7 to 3 p.m. It can go from 3 days a week to 5 days a week. If you choose the evening division, your classes would begin at 5:30, and it would go from 11:30, and it could possibly go to 12:30 a.m. And it's the same thing, 3 to 5 nights a week. If you choose the weekend division, you'll probably have your lecture on Friday evening beginning at 5:30, and your clinical and lab would be Saturday and or Sunday, but that is all day. If you're going to choose the weekend and it's Saturday or Sunday, it would probably be 7 to 3, 7 to 4, 8 to 5. It would be all day because you're trying to get all of those clinical hours into Saturday and Sunday. And if you choose the weekend, we may also have 1 additional night per week, a Monday night, a Thursday night that you may have to come in. So those are 3 divisions we offer. We will go over that in a little more detail in the next few slides. But our nursing program does include 3 divisions. And once you do become accepted, you would need to choose what division based on your lifestyle or what you're doing and what your plans are for nursing. Next slide. Here we have one of our students doing an exam on our patient, and they're looking at the computer, and that's part of our skills lab as well. Next slide. Just for some additional information, we have our website there, which is the hcc.edu, that has all of the information regarding HCC, but we also have the www.hcc.edu nursing, that is nursing specific. So if you have any questions about what we're talking about today, you may go to that nursing specific websites so that you can get some more specifics. Listed is just some information. I'm the Dean of Nursing, the Financial Aid Bursar Office at HCC. Nursing and Health Science is our main number, 201-360-4267 is our main number for our nursing program here. HCC nursing program is located on the F building of HCC. We're at 870 Bergen Avenue in Jersey City. The admissions number is myself and Miss Sampson, who is the admissions recruiter. She's actually on the line listening, but she can also answer any questions. So we have two numbers where you can get in contact with the admissions services at HCC for nursing, and that's 201-360-4765 or 201-360-4767, and that's our direct extensions. Next slide. When you're in nursing, you do have a structured curriculum, meaning all of the courses are laid out for you, and you would not have any electives. So every course that you see listed here is in the program curriculum. You would have the program curriculum of 37 college courses, and the bottom you would have 5 nursing courses. So the total curriculum in nursing is 71. All of the courses listed would need to be completed, nursing and non-nursing, in order to receive the degree at Hudson Community College. The degree you would receive if you complete this curriculum is Associate in Science for nursing, and it would take about 2 years to complete the whole nursing curriculum. If you're interested in applying, the only 3 courses that you need before you can begin is the first 3 listed. So if you're interested in applying before you can begin the first nursing course, which begins every fall, you would need to have the college student success. You would need to have your Math 100 or Math 114 completed, and you'd have to have the Intro to Psychology completed. The top 3 that are listed there are required before you can begin nursing. The others, we recommend the more you can take of nursing, of college courses before you begin nursing would make it easier for you. So the curriculum is laid out there, and the top 3 are required before you could begin the nursing course. Next one. Thank you. In nursing, we have 3 curriculums. We have a day, an evening, and a weekend. If students choose the day program, again, you're going to start your curriculum as laid out here. All of your courses of nursing would be in the day. The time would be approximately 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And you would do everything in the day. You'd have your lecture in the day. You would have your clinical experiences during the daytime. It would take you 2 years to complete this program. And the important thing about the day curriculum is you could take nursing and college work at the same time, although it is very difficult to do so because it is an intense program. But if you choose the day and you're really not working and you don't have responsibilities of children or elderlies, and you can focus 100% on the nursing, you would be able to do the day curriculum. And if you have all of your college courses completed before you begin the actual nursing clinical, that would be great. In our curriculum, and this goes for day, evening, or weekend, you do have what's called a clinical aspect in every course. And in every course, you would have patient contact. So in the nursing 110, 120, 210, 220, you would have patient contact. You'll be going into hospitals and nursing homes. And that starts in the first course, and it is threaded throughout our curriculum. So if you were interested in our program, you would have a lot of practical experience, a lot of clinical experience. You would be working with patients right away. We give you about 3 or 4 weeks to get acclimated, and then you would start working with patients. In our curriculum, we also have all different types of nursing to expose students to. For example, you'll go to nursing homes, you'll go to psychiatric areas, you'll go to OB, you'll go to PED, you'll go to ER, you'll have experience in critical care. You'll have a lot of different experiences in different types of nursing. And then you can go on to decide which type of nursing you would like, but we give you exposure to a variety of settings, and your degree is a general RN, so we wouldn't specifically set what area you like. That would be up to you and all the experiences you have. But in any rate, this is the day curriculum. We would accept about 60 to 65 students a year for this curricula. The next slide. Thank you. This is the evening curriculum. Again, this begins at 5:30 and it could go from 11:30 p.m., maybe 12:30 in the morning. Again, everything that you do, your lecture and your clinic experience would be in the evening. How the evening is set up is that we prefer students do all of their or majority of their prerequisites first, and then you start the nursing. The reasoning for it is students who generally pick evening would be having some other type of responsibility, working, family responsibility, taking care of elderly. So if you're doing that during the day and coming in the evening, if you just had to focus on nursing, it would be a little more able to do well. So it's laid out the same way. The curriculum is the same, but the evening curricula, you start at 5:30. And we accept about 35 to 40 students every year for this curriculum. Next slide. The last one we offer is weekend, and this is solely Friday evening beginning at 5:30, and it's all day Saturday and Sunday. So if you choose this curriculum, your week is free, but you're going to have all of that on Friday evening, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's going to be very long days on the Saturday and Sunday. But either way, it's the same curriculum. Again, we do prefer students do most of their college work before they enter nursing, because again, if you choose weekends, you probably have other family life commitments during the week or during the evening. So the weekend would be what you would select, and try and get a lot of those college courses out of the way before you enter nursing. But either way, all of your experiences will be in the evening for Friday night, and the weekend would be where you would take care of patients and get that clinical experience. In the weekend curriculum is our smallest division, and we'll accept about 20 to 25 students every year. Next slide. Once you do graduate from our program, you will receive what's called an associate in science in nursing. So that's an associate degree. But of course, we would encourage many of our students to go on for bachelor, BSN, master, doctorate, whatever they like. Our students are very qualified and very ambitious. But one program we do have is what's called the Joint Admissions Program, RN to BSN with NJCU. So if students come to our program and they receive their associate and they've completed everything, our students are welcome to go to NJCU. They are automatically accepted. Every credit that they take here at HCC with the nursing is accepted. They don't have to pay an admissions fee or go through anything like that. And they can start some of their NJCU courses when they're in their senior year at HCCC. So we have what's called the Joint Admission Program, and that will enable our students to go from the RN associate to BSN in 12 to 15 months, which is a great opportunity. So students can apply there, and within 12 to 15 months, they'd already have their BSN. So that's our program with NJCU, which is very exciting. And we also have several other institutions and articulations within the area. We do have one with St. Peter's University, University of Phoenix, which is online, and a few others, but our Major one, because it is a seamless articulation and a lot of students automatically get accepted and they get scholarships through that, is NJCU. And then students can go on for their BSN. Next slide. Because our program is a program which gives you a credential, once you get our credential, you would have to sit for what's called the NCLEX state exam. So once students graduate with our associate, you do have to still take a state exam in order to practice nursing in New Jersey. That exam is called the NCLEX RN, and that's given by the state. And you would be eligible to do that once you graduate from our program. But it is interesting for our program for students to know, if they're interested in coming here, what is the graduation rate and the NCLEX pass rate and the employment rate. Because once we all graduate from our degrees, we all want to get jobs and start earning a living and moving on with our lives. So for our particular program, we have the graduation rate, which is students who get accepted, begin the program, and graduate. It's listed for 18, 19, 20. And the NCLEX pass rate is the pass rate, that's the amount of students who pass that state exam on the first try. So we have 94%, then 90, then 85, which is very good for first-time takers. And the employment rate is how many students actually get jobs. So the 2020 class, we haven't done our statistics yet because they just graduated, but 97 and 100% get jobs, and it's probably 100% at this point, thinking of our current climate and our current pandemic. It's probably over 100, everyone gets a job. So if you come to our program and you finish our program and you graduate and you pass that NCLEX, you're going to get a job and you're going to be able to work as a nurse. So that's what we wanted to tell you with those statistics. Next slide. We do have a pinning ceremony every year. Our last year was virtual, but students get to dress up in nursing uniforms and the women wear their caps, etc. So this was not last year, it was the year before that. Last year was our virtual celebration, but this is just some of our students that have graduated and celebrating. Next slide. So we want to just say that our program is open. We're accepting for fall 2021. It is getting close to filling. So we want to say, if you're interested in nursing, if this is what you feel, you're welcome to come visit us, speak with myself or Ms. Suzette Sampson. We can't at this time give tours of our skills lab at the minute. We might do something virtual in the future. We used to have students come in and tour our skills lab, and it was very fun and exciting, but at this time we can't do that. But you're welcome to come and see myself or Ms. Sampson. Give us a call. If this is something you'd like to pursue, we look forward to you coming to join us. Nursing is a very good career. At the current time, many of our graduates are getting employed in local hospitals, in agencies. They're doing home healthcare nursing. A lot of them are working, given the COVID vaccine. So there's a lot of opportunity for nurses who graduate from our program. So if this is for you, please reach out. It's not too early. It's never too early to apply. So if this is for you, we look forward to hearing from you. Next one. And once our graduates did graduate the last year before, this is one of their pictures. This is at the park across from the Culinary Center at HCC. So they were all giving a little celebration there. But it is an intense program. It is a 2-year program for RNs. So it involves a lot of work. But if it's for you, our HCC program Overall, our passing in nursing, if you were to get accepted, is 80. So every class you take must be of 80. And overall, we have a lot of graduates and they enjoyed the program and they got a lot out of it. So that's our graduates there. Next one. So this is our program contacts. Again, I'm Lisa Siekowitz McCall, Coordinator of Admissions and Recruitment for the Nursing. That's my direct email. Miss Sampson's on the line as well. She's the recruitment specialist. If you have any questions, please let us know. Again, it's never too early to apply. We look forward to it. Nursing is a very good career. It's becoming very big and very popular. The training's hard, but people always say to myself and Miss Sampson, it was worth it. It was hard, but it's a good major. And if you have any interest, don't be hesitant to contact us. Call us, stop in. We're on Bergen Avenue, and let us know how we can help you. And I think that's it. I think there may be one more. Is there one more? Is that it? I think that's it.
Nope, that is it. So thank you so much, Lisa. I am going to open up the floor for question and answers now from all of our viewers. We have a number of viewers on Facebook Live as well. And the first question is from Jesse, which is, when should we submit the pre-entrance for fall 2021?
Okay, very good question. We would say now as our class is filling and it's getting close to filling. So if you're interested in fall 2021, make your application and take one of those exams as soon as you can.
The next question is from Aussie Ramirez, which is, can you repeat the process of getting accepted? So hang on, let me go back to that slide. There we go.
Yep. So students can apply. We keep every application on file for a year. If you do all of these things, you submit your application and then you don't quite reach any of those acceptable scores and you're going to retest, we'll keep it on file for a year so you don't have to do all the application and references again. And you're welcome to retest. The only exception is the first one in yellow, the NLN exam. That if you don't do well, you have to wait 3 months to apply. Otherwise, you can take those exams, as many as you'd like, and we'll hold your items in your file for 1 year.
The next question comes from Tawana. Her question is, sorry, I missed the beginning. When does the next cohort begin?
Thank you. HSC nursing program begins every fall. So we only do admissions in the fall semester. The next one's fall 2021. If that does fill up, we will do two things. We will either put you on a wait list and hopefully a spot opens for fall 2021. If that doesn't occur, we will accept you for the next cohort beginning fall 2022.
The next question comes from Mary. Her question is, can I apply before I take my chem prerequisites if I take it this summer?
Thank you so much. That is a very common question. You can apply ASAP and you can very much take that in summer 1 or summer 2. The one that we require is CHP 100 Intro to Chem. You're welcome to take the 4-credit one if you'd like, but we just require the CHP 100. You absolutely can apply now. The only thing to keep in mind, it must be done before you can start any nursing course. So it must be completed with C or above before the fall semester.
The next question comes from Celicia. They have graduated from HCCC with an associate's in science. Are they still required to sit for the NCLEX?
Yes, everyone who wants to become a nurse and practice nursing has to sit for NCLEX. We give you the credential here at HCC to prepare for that and to be eligible for that, but everybody needs to pass a state exam, and that's called the NCLEX. And that is going to review everything you learned here, everything you practiced here. And it is a state exam, and once you pass that, you can practice nursing.
The next question comes from Angie. After they've been accepted, what are the next steps?
Okay, once you make your application, you pass that exam and you're accepted, then either Miss Sampson or myself would get in touch with you in order to register for the courses, and then we would proceed with all of the other information we need. For example, criminal background check, drug test, the health insurance, your physical. Once you become accepted and you register for the course, then we will get more additional information from you, and we'll review all of the requirements for new nursing students.
The next question comes from Chris. Taking the NLN next weekend, and they hope it's not too late.
Okay, the NLN exam, good luck. Take it easy, and I'm sure you'll do well. Once we do get the NLN or the SAT scores back to HCC, a committee will review them, and then they'll make their decision based on your entire file. At that point, we'll look at our student numbers and see if we've reached our max capacity. If we did, then we'll put students on a wait list or accept them for the last year. And being put on a wait list is not lost hope, because last year we had about 12 to 15 on the wait list, and mostly everyone got in off that wait list. So if you do get accepted, which is great and congratulations, but you get put on the wait list, don't discourage too much, because generally you probably will get accepted off of that wait list.
Great. Those were questions from Mary and Aussie as well, that if there is a wait list, or if they know that there is a wait list, will they be accepted?
Yep. It depends on our numbers, but we will contact students as we accept them off the wait list. If you don't make it off the wait list for 2021, we would automatically accept you for fall 2022.
Great. The next question comes from Jessie. And her questions are, where do we perform the clinicals, and how many hours are required for graduation?
Oh, thank you. Good question. We have a variety of articulations with many, many hospitals in the New Jersey area. I could name a few: Christ Hospital, Hoboken University, Bayonne Medical Center, several nursing homes in the area. So once you come into our nursing program, you'll be having experience in many local hospitals, Newark, Beth Israel, and there is clinical associated with every course. So if you're in nursing 110, the first course, that's 6 credits, so there'll be a percentage of clinical required and a percentage of lecture required. There's over 700 or 800 hours that's required.
The next question comes from Tawana. I have a BA. Would some of my credits be accepted? Would I still have to take the pre-entrance exams? And are there full-time, part-time, and or weekend options? And I'm gonna bring up that slide.
Okay, thank you. Good question. If you have a bachelor, master, associate, HCC may potentially accept some credits. You'll have to have that sent over to HCC. The max transfers 30 no matter what you have, and it has to be part of the nursing curriculum. So you may want to look at your classes and see if it aligns with the nursing curriculum that was outlined. And then HCC will go through and see if it's acceptable, grade of C or above. The sciences, anatomy and anatomy 1, anatomy 2, and microbiology must be less than 5 years old. And they'll go through and see what credits would transfer. Whatever doesn't get credited, you would have to take at the HCC. And we have day, evening, and weekend. What was the second part of that question?
Are there full-time, part-time, and or weekend options?
Thank you. There is a day option, evening option, and weekend option. So weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the day is beginning 7 or 8 a.m. and evening begins at 5:30.
The next question comes from Jay. Is there a time you have to complete your nursing courses by, for example, 2 years after acceptance to the program?
Good question. All students must complete nursing within 3 years of the first course. So the general time frame is 2 years. If you have any leave of absence or failure, we allow you to come back one time, so it makes it 3 years. But generally, most students will finish in 2, but we max it at 3 for the whole program. That's 3 years.
The next question comes from Tiziana. I'm going to register for the year 2022 when I'm done with prerequisites. I have a copy of my high school diploma from Italy. Do I need to get a transcript?
Generally, yes, we prefer transcripts. Sometimes it is not possible if they're foreign, so then we'll take the diploma. But if you can get a transcript of the courses you've taken and they can evaluate your GPA would be better, because we like to look at all that on admission. But if it's not possible, some schools close and it's not possible in certain countries, then we would take the diploma.
And the next questions are from Miriam, which is, what is the accepted score for the NLN? And they've already submitted their application. So do they have to finish their NLN or not to be accepted this year?
Thank you. I'm just going to go back to the student who had the bachelor. You still need to take one of the admissions exam. I think she had asked that question. You still have to take an admission exam if you have a bachelor or master. And currently, the NLN acceptance is at least 45, but in each section. On the NLN, there's a verbal, math, and science section, and each of those have to be 45%. On the SAT, there's reading and math, and then the T's, they have reading, math, and science. So for NLM, which was the specific question, it's 45 on the RM percentile rank for the verbal, math, and science.
The following question is, if I submit my NLN in June, do I still get in for fall 2021?
Just going by past years and past acceptance, June would probably make you to the next class, fall 2022. Generally speaking, we usually fill about April, May, and we probably are already going through our wait list by June. So if you're just submitting in June, most likely it would be the next class. And for this, it would be fall 2022.
Yes, which leads to Jasmine's question. When do we submit all requirements before starting in September?
If it's for admission, certain things would have to be submitted before you're accepted, like the admission scores and your high school transcript and your college transcripts. If you were to be accepted and we're requiring the CPR, malpractice, physical, then that's usually before you can start in July or August, before you can start in September.
So then they have to pass the NLN with the maximum to be accepted this year.
Yes.
And the last date to accept those scores?
Unfortunately, we don't have a set deadline. We accept on rolling admissions, so we continue to accept until our class fills to the max. We generally don't have a deadline, but April, May would probably be filled, and then May, June, we go up our wait list. So at this point, because we're March, if you are interested in fall 2021, I would apply and take one of those exams within the next few weeks.
The next question comes from Cindy. I already did my entrance exam and got a 45% and above. I submitted my report to the testing center, but I have not gotten any response back. How long would I have to wait for the feedback?
Okay, our admissions committee meets once a month, but the missing link here, we don't know if your scores went to HCC general admissions or nursing program admissions. We see this occasionally. So my suggestion would be to email myself or Ms. Sampson. The emails are at the end there. And if you have a copy of the scores or you can get your reports, send them to us. If not, please email your name and when you took it and which exam you took, NLN or ATITs, and we might be able to communicate with the NLN or the Ts and see if we could get them, or we can check with HCC admissions. That occasionally happens. The scores go to HCC general admissions and they're not always forward here. So make sure you email myself or Ms. Sampson your name, when you took it, and what exam you took, and we can follow up with that one.
So the following question is from Jasmine. So when exactly do all of the requirements, when are they requested by admissions?
For admissions, I would submit everything that you can as soon as you can. Once you take that exam, the NLN, the SAT, or the Ts, we need all of your documents, because soon after you submit any of those testing scores, the committee is going to review your file. If you don't have all of those documents and they won't be able to review it, then you're pushed a month next. So once you take your test or near about there, you may want to submit the high school transcript, the college transcripts, the references, any chemistry you had, so that when it comes time and we want to review it by the committee, everything would be there and you'd stay within that month.
So the following question comes from Mary. When are admissions decisions communicated to applicants?
Thank you. As soon as students take one of those required exams and your file's complete, it will be presented to what's called the admissions committee. They meet monthly. It's not a set time of the month. It's when we get the most applications and most scores back, but within the month it is reviewed. So I would say students would get results that month or the next one.
The next question is from Tiziana. Is the day division every day from 7 to 2?
Oh, thank you. Good question. That would vary, but I could tell you for the first course, which is Nursing 110, which students will start this fall, it would be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, for an example. And then as you go up in the curriculum, the credits increase. So then you'd be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The minimum is 3 days and the max is 5.
And can you take the NLN anytime during the year?
You're welcome to take it anytime it's offered, and they offer it at various times. But the only glitch to that one is if you don't pass the NLN, you'd have to wait 3 months to retest. So if you take it this March, let's say, then you wouldn't be eligible till March, April, May, June, and that would probably be the next admission class.
The next question comes from Emily. This is my first semester. What do I do to register for the fall semester?
Good. So if you're just beginning, you may want to follow the nursing curriculum and start with some of those courses. Start with the first one to outline the college success, the math, and the psychology, and then go according to the curriculum. If you're thinking of beginning nursing courses in fall 2022, you can begin to apply anytime after September. So follow those curriculums. Those are the courses listed there, program curriculum, and those are the ones that you need to be part of nursing. But the first would be college student success, the math, and intro to psychology, and then follow it through from there.
So the next question is from Aussie. Which dates does the committee meet, since it is only once a month?
It is once a month. It's a very variable depending on when the committee members meet. It's generally not in the beginning of the month, so I would say mid to end of the month. And that's every month.
Next question comes from Jasmine. Do we pay for any uniform or books for the program, or just financial aid?
Oh, very good question. If you get financial aid, I know that they cover book voucher. However, uniforms, malpractice insurance, CPR, anything like that is generally not covered if you receive financial aid.
The next question is, I'm only left with anatomy and physiology 2 and microbiology. Do you advise that I take it in the summer 1 and 2, or take them simultaneously with the nursing program?
We recommend anything you could get out of the way before nursing would be the best scenario. So if you can take it in the summer before you begin would be the best scenario. The more credits you can take before you enter the nursing 110, 210, etc., would be the best scenario. Everyone won't have that scenario. Everyone may not be in that situation to be able to do that. But if you can, we recommend students take as much as they can before they begin nursing.
The next question comes from Diego. Can the NLN be taken online at home? I have tried taking the SAT several times, and I have been told that they no longer have seating available when the time to take the SAT exam comes close.
I believe the NLN's offered online. You can take whatever they offer online or on site. We are not regulating that. So if it's offered online, you're welcome to take it. I know the SAT has limited ability these days, but you can do the NLN and the ATITs however it's offered.
The next question is from Tawana. Do you accept American Red Cross, first aid, CPR, AED, pediatric, and adult?
Thank you. That's a good question. It's a very specific type of CPR that we require of nursing students. It's called CPR for healthcare providers, and it's called Provider C. So if they review adult, children, infants, plus the AED, it's acceptable. But the basic life support's not acceptable. So the one that we require is Provider C for healthcare providers. That's a good question.
The following question comes from Miriam. If I'm accepted this year for the RN program, when will I graduate?
If everything goes well and everything falls into place and you have no leaves or failures, it's 2 years. So 21, 22, May 23. It's 2 years to complete the nursing if there are no fails or no leaves or withdrawals or anything. So everyone, regardless of if you do day, evening, or weekend, once you start the first nursing course, it's 2 years. 5 nursing courses over 2 years.
The next question comes from Christina. How much will one semester cost for the program?
I gotta think. I think it is 3,000 something. If you email myself or Ms. Sampson, we will send you the credit breakdown. The important thing to note about nursing is the tuition cost is the amount of HCC tuition per credit That's part A, but part B of nursing is that we charge a clinical lab fee. So each class would have a lab fee, and the reason I don't know it offhand is each one is based on the credits and what the specialty is. So I don't have the exact numbers in my head, but if you email myself or Suzette, we can send you the tuition breakdown for each course, and it's based on each course and the amount of credits that you would be having and the amount of clinical you have.
Now, there's been a question for clarification that you said that graduation would be in May 2023, not September.
Correct. We graduate in, it's 2 years plus the summer. So our students in nursing graduate at HCC in the May graduation. And all of the courses and curricula are done by that graduation, which in Hudson is May 23rd, 24th, around there.
Okay, next question comes from Angie. After 2 years of completing the program, you may still transfer to a 4-year university.
Yes. So after students finish the associate in science at HCC, you're very welcome, and we encourage students to go on for BSN or MSN, whatever everyone chooses. But we do highly recommend a BSN. So we have some articulation set up. The most common one is with NJCU, so students can go directly there from HCC, and they can finish to BSN in 12 to 15 months, depending on how many credits they all take. And we also have some articulation with St. Peter's University and University of Phoenix and a few others. But it's possible to do that BSN in a year or 15 months.
So Angie's follow-up question is, will it benefit when you transfer?
Taking BSN, I'm not quite sure on that question. If students transfer for BSN, there's more opportunity for growth. A lot of hospitals would like you to go for BSN. A lot of hospitals require BSN. We don't require it in New Jersey as of yet, but we may. And you're more versatile and marketable if you're going for BSN.
The next question comes from Emily. Is it possible for me to attempt the nursing program in the fall?
At the current time, we do have some slots available. It's filling very quickly. So depending on when you make that application and when you test, we could see our numbers at the time that you submit all of your documents and when you submit one of the admissions exams, and if there's spots available. Otherwise, students will go on wait list or be admitted to the next class 2022.
The next question comes from Bolani. So you can go directly from an associate's degree to an MSN?
You can if you have a bachelor in another area. So if you have a bachelor in psychology and medical science, there are bridge programs that allow that, but you have to have some sort of bachelor under your belt. You can't do an associate to MSN without somewhere obtaining, or in that program, obtaining a bachelor.
The following question is, are there specialties in the RN program such as ER nurse? And what are their chances of getting hired as a new graduate?
Very good. In our program, we do all types of nursing. We don't specialize in any way. So I'm going to go through the classes. Initially, you'll do fundamentals or basics of nursing. Then you'll work on psychiatry and the general med surgical patient. Then you'll have some gerontology and work in experience with nursing home. Then you may do OB, pediatrics, work in the nursery, and then you'll have an experience in ED, ICU, more advanced medical surgical isolation patients. And then in your final course, which is the Nursing 240, you work independently under supervision and you do some leadership and you do some delegation and all of that. So our degree is not going to specialize you in any way. You're going to have all those exposures. And even if you don't like working with psych patients or OB patients, you have to do it in our program. You have to go through that rotation. But in the end, you'll have a general RN. And then if each student wants to specialize, or some students like OB or pediatrics or psychiatry, then you can do that after with your bachelor, but we don't specialize you in any way for that. And what was the second part? I'm sorry.
Second part was, what are their chances of getting hired as a new graduate?
Yeah, most of our students get jobs right out of our program. All the local hospitals have been hiring them. Each hospital is very different. If they hire you into ER and ICU, if you have some experience in that, you may get hired in that. Otherwise, most students go to what's called general med surg patient, which is the general patient on the hospital unit. Trying to think. Yeah, most people get jobs there. Like some students like oncology and things like that. And students have been getting hired. Most of our students get jobs right away, and then they start to work on their BSN while they're working.
So we've got a few minutes left. We can take about 2 more questions. So Maria's question is, this is my first semester at Hudson County. I'm seeing those requirements on the screen, but do I also need to take a chemistry class even though I took it back in high school?
Every student applying to nursing needs a chemistry course. If you took it in high school, it will be acceptable if it's grade of C or above and it's within the last 5 years. So if you just graduated high school and you have that chem, send us the transcript and we'll give you the credit for that. But if it's over 5 years, then you need to retake the chemistry or take it at HCC, the CHP 100 will be fine.
The next question comes from Francesca. Now I'm taking anatomy and physiology, culture and values, and college composition 1. When can I take the nursing entrance exam?
Yeah, we suggest you do it ASAP if you want to apply for fall 2021. There is no courses required to take that exam. So all students are welcome to take one of those exams when they feel they're ready. However, we just had this discussion today. A lot of students said English 1, anatomy, taking micro, helped them to do well on the exam. So a lot of students were saying if they took their math and they took anatomy 1 and 2 and they took their English, they did well on the entrance exam, because that's all about what it's testing. If you think you have good background knowledge of English, math, and science already, then it's worth your shot to start taking it. But overall, if you're interested in fall 2021, you need to take that and apply ASAP. If you're thinking on fall 2022, then you have some time to take those credits and apply for the next class 2022.
Okay, so thank you everyone for all of your great questions. I have put Lisa and Suzette's contact information up on the screen so you can take it down. I know that we have a lot more questions in the Facebook Live comments. However, we are just about out of time. On behalf of the Jersey City Free Public Library College Readiness Team, I would like to thank Lisa again for being here with us today. You're always welcome back. You're such a delight, and everyone always has questions about the nursing program, so I'm sure we will have you back again soon.
Thank you so much, and I want to thank everyone who joined us. It's a pleasure. This was a very good event. I'm sure we'll have another one, but we are here if you have any questions. If this is really for you and this is what you'd like to take up at HCC, please visit myself or Ms. Sampson. We'd be happy. And if we didn't get to your questions, our emails are there. Be sure to email us tonight, tomorrow, in the next few days, and we can answer your questions or stop by and see us. We're here and on campus. So thank you, everyone. We look forward to seeing you in our nursing program very soon.
All right, thank you again, everyone. I'm going to keep this up for about 30 more seconds, and then I'm going to end the meeting. Thank you so much for joining us again. Follow Jersey City Free Public Library on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We always have programs like this going on, and we love for you to join us, particularly those of you who are college bound or continuing your education.
Thank you for a good evening. Thank you, Ashley.
Anytime, Lisa, anytime. And thank you to Suzette, who's been posting links in the comments with all of your resources.
Thank you, Miss Suzette. I know you don't have your screen up, but thank you, Miss Sampson.
All right, have a great evening, everyone. Thank you again. Bye, everyone.
Bye, have a good day. Stay well.